This is not the Corpus that I grew up in terms of musical influence. There's so many different artists and musicians bringing so many things to the table. My name is Adam Rios of Coyote Static, and I make eclectic music. I want to take a moment to thank Raps and Apps and of course the Coastal Bend Community Foundation for investing in the Golden Mic program and nurturing artists right here in the Coastal Bend. I am from right here in Corpus Christi, and music in my household was very different. I had a variety of influences between my parents and my siblings. So by the time it filtered its way to me, I had 3 generations of music just about the point that I was discovering punk rock and heavy metal. I was in a band called Boy Revision, and we were a tribute band, if you will. And when I heard that applause and I felt the vibration in me, I knew that this was gonna be a pretty regular part of my life. I have been making music on a serious note for probably the last 6 months. I think what's kept me going more than anything is probably my surroundings, which is my family and my friends, because that's a huge part of what I write about, my everyday experiences within that. I think that if somebody went back and met me 5 years ago, they'd probably say, I had no idea he was capable of doing what he's doing right now, because it certainly wasn't in the cards. Being a musician from here in the Coastal Bend means everything, because I'm from here. I've lived in other places and experienced other cultures, but there's something about doing this on a serious note right back here where really it all started for me. I would describe the Coastal Bend music scene right now as thriving. That's a good word for it, I think. There's so many different artists and musicians bringing so many things to the table. I think what people probably outside of the area don't recognize or know about the Coastal Bend when it comes to the musicians here is how vastly different we are. I think they think we're kind of a lazy beach town and everything should sort of sound the same. And I think they get surprised when they go to a live act and they realize actually how diverse the artists here are. One of the biggest artists here in Corpus Christi that I've drawn inspiration from is probably an old punk band called Sweet Daddy. That was the first band I knew about that celebrated a quinceañera here in Corpus Christi because they'd been around for that long and still exist and still put on a good show. I think the way I would describe my sound for someone who's hearing it for the first time is probably very honest. There's not a lot of layers to it. It's very poetic and sort of in your face, almost spoken word style. So that's the way I would best describe it. I would say the mood for my music is cinematic, like something you'd see on the big screen. My biggest artistic influences, probably Joy Division, first and foremost, because they were this really cool bridge between new wave and punk rock for me. But if there's one true artist that I feel like I'm molding myself by, it's probably Jeff Buckley. He is my northern star. The artist people that I've been compared to, it's pretty awesome. I was at an open mic here and somebody came up to me afterwards and they said, you're like this weird cross between Bob Dylan and Nirvana. And I was like, thank you for getting that. I think what makes my music unique is that I'm just a one-man show, but I'm not doing acoustic. I actually play electric guitar when I'm doing it. And I think I've got a decent enough voice, and melodies for me are everything. And so I bring that to the table, I think. My music is for, honestly, anyone who wants something different and honest. Whether you're sitting in a coffee shop or having some whiskeys in a bar, I want it to hit you in the exact same way. I would say that if anyone is listening to my music for the first time, I would want them to feel a sense of hope, you know, even in the face of any tragic thing that might be going on in their life, to know that they're connecting to it. The type of fan that I think would connect deeply to my sound is somebody who's probably into all the same things that I am, which is books, cinema, and music. They all coexist in the same space to me. But one of the things that I've been approached about in terms of my music affecting someone in a positive way is that sort of hope factor. That they were listening to it and they had a lot going on, and I think they realized that something I was singing about or what chord I was playing tapped into something relevant in their lives, and they came away feeling hopeful about it. I think what being selected to the Golden Mic for me means that, again, this is part of that hope and inspiration. If nothing else, I hope somebody takes away from the fact that anybody could really do this if they just put one foot in front of the other and make an attempt. What I'm most excited about with the Golden Mic is actually taking what it is that I'm doing to the next level in terms of out of my living room and actually have a documentation of what I'm doing via video, recording a song, and it's gonna make it 3-dimensional for me. And that's really what I'm hoping to do with this. I think opportunities like this matter a whole lot for musicians here because these opportunities don't necessarily come along very often. I think that's what's pretty unique about this. This isn't a battle of the bands. This is straight up, what art do you have? Present it to us and let's take it to the next level. And if you don't do it this time, enter again, and a third time, and a fourth time. I would say to anybody thinking about applying to the Golden Mic program is you just have to do it. If it's in you and you have something that you want to get out, this is a perfect, safe space to attempt to do that. And again, if it doesn't happen the first or second time, just keep working on your craft, and eventually I think you'll get in. My favorite song that I've made is a song called Hold the Pain, which I know sounds dark, and there's some dark elements to it, but it's really more a blessing of having somebody carry that weight with you so that you're not holding the pain by yourself, and you've got somebody sort of holding your hand and walking you through it. And that's what leads me back to my songs of hope and inspiration. It comes from a dark place, but I want it to blossom and be something meaningful. So I've been sort of cutting my teeth just at open mics. I'm looking forward to really getting into the studio because I like the creative process. I'm a night person when it comes to creativity. There's just something that happens where I put music on and I drift and I create all these scenarios in my head, and I find this really cool comfort zone of, it's like being surrounded by all my favorite artists, just listening to music on my headphones at night. My dream collaboration, even though Jeff Buckley is my limelight, even he and I learned from somebody else. If I could have ever worked with Leonard Cohen, I would have jumped at that opportunity, because that is the entire inspiration source for creative singer and songwriter for me. One word that describes my sound would probably be, again, honest. One word that describes me as an artist would probably be nerdy. When people hear the name Coyote Static a year from now, I want them to think, first and foremost, wow, what growth in that first year. Because if you're not growing as an artist and being inspired as an artist, you're just gonna get stagnant. And so I want them to see a real evolution happen. When someone first discovers my music, I want them to remember, probably first and foremost, whoever your influences are, whether people get it or don't get it, stick with that. There's a reason those people became successful, and there's a reason you got drawn to them. So remember that.